Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today is an exciting day. We're going to start looking into visionOS this week. So we'll be building some sample apps and going through the visionOS basics and how you can use that in your use cases. So when you first start your Xcode and say new project, you would see a new option in your Xcode now, which is visionOS. Apple was going with XROS, but eventually they ended up with visionOS, which I think is much better name than XROS. If you don't see these option enabled, or you see a message saying, you don't have the runtime installed, how would that look like? So let's say I don't have tvOS installed, and when I go to tvOS, I'm gonna see, your tvOS runtime is not installed, and then you can directly click get here, and then it will download your tvOS for you. Same as visionOS, Xcode has gone much better with Xcode 15. So this is the Xcode 15 which I'm using on macOS Sonoma. So I would suggest, if you have not tried it yet, go and try Xcode 15. So let's get back to Vision now. So select visionOS and select an app. Click next. It's the basic same stuff that we use. Let's say I'm gonna call it solar system. But that's what I'm thinking we should build it. Solar system. And there are two new options here. We already know team, organization identifier, bundle identifier, initial scene. So there are two things, what is window and volume. Window is your view will start with one window view, and then volume is it's a 3D object that you can show. The difference is window is a SwiftUI 2D window, which people can drag from the corner, as you might have seen in some other intro videos. You can drag from the corner, resize it, move it around. With volume, you can't change. User won't be allowed to change the size and stuff. It's you who will decide what would be the size of that volumetric window. What is an immersive space? If you, let's say we are building solar system, so we can choose, let's say I want to use reality kit, and then there are three options of the immersive space that you get. One is mixed, progressive, and full. Mixed is like you are rendering your solar system in the area or in the live view, and people can still interact with you. So you have the mixed immersive experience for your app. So you need to decide whether you want to build your app, give the users an option to go mixed, progressive, full. You can have multiple scenes with the different space, and you can add like different options within your window, like go to the full, or move back into your mixed, progressive, or switch between these different scenes. I would suggest go with none. And then move your users to the immersive space as they get familiarized with your app. So don't just blow them up with your full immersive experience. They will be lost. So move them slowly into, and give them the option to then switch between back into your mixed view or your full immersive. There's another option which is progressive. It gives you like a 180 degree of space where it's immersive, but then they can still interact with people around them. So that's the option that you can use. Maybe just move them to a specific area of the app where they don't want any distraction from the other apps, because once you move into the immersive space, you can't interact with any other apps because it's full on your app. So think about all the use cases that you want in your app, and then choose. You can always change them later in the code, so don't worry that you have to make a decision now. So let's go with none and choose initial scene window. I'm not going to include any tests because we are not writing that in the test. So let's build a solar system app. This is going to be an intro to just the how you create the app, and then go through the simulator and how you interact with the simulator. So we got our app loaded. As you can see, we have few items here. The app content view, which you already know from SwiftUI. We have assets, and some reality kit components which are already loaded in our app. The most amazing part of Xcode 15 I have seen is the previewers has gone way much better than before, and even the visionOS previewer, you can interact fully within your preview. You don't have to run your app. It's not like you have to run the app, open the simulator, and then you can interact with. This view is fully interactable. So I can go here, click, and then move. See, and it's seamless. So you same as SwiftUI, you don't have to leave Xcode to check whether your code is running. You can change the scenes here within the preview. So it comes with the 3 basic scenes, day and night. Let's go kitchen. I don't know, maybe museum at night. Then you can see how your lighting and in your app looks different in different scenes. Let's stick with this one for now, which is an office space in the light mode. Now let's run the app and run the simulator. Right, so it's loading the app. Let's see how long it takes. Hopefully should be quick. All right, so the app is loaded. We can say that it's a window that we can interact with. We can resize it. We can go back, make it small. Now, one thing I want to show you guys is how you navigate around this simulator, because that's the first thing you want to do. So if you want to go back and forward, you can press this button, use your mouse scroll button, go back and front. If you want to interact with the elements, the first button, then you click that and then you can interact with the windows. If you want to, just look around, press and hold this one and that's how you look around in your view. So press and hold and move, which is much easier, right? And let's say you ended up here and then you want to go back, you can always press this button, which is reset camera, which will reset it back to your original space. The next thing is if you want to like pan around and see like that, then you can use the third button and just pan around in your space, up and down, right? And then if you want to if you want to orbit around, then press and hold. That's the key here, and then you can easily orbit around from your point. And again, if you are somewhere, and then you can always press reset camera and then come back to your original space. Another thing, again, simulator here, right? If you want to take a screenshot, just press the button and then it will take a screenshot. If you want to record your simulator, you want to record a video or something, just again option press, it will start recording your simulator if you want to demo something, and then you can do everything you want to do, right? And then press, and then it saves a video of your recording, which is way much easier than, you can see that it's showing us in the previewer, which is way much easier than, running QuickTime news recording and then you adjust the screen. But this way we know that it's only gonna record our simulator and everything. Let me just delete this guy. When you are recording, you can change your views and it will keep recording, and then you can show how your app will look like in different lighting conditions in your demo, right? And then look how smooth that is, and that's on M2 Air. That's about the controls here, but we are developers and we love keyboard shortcuts. Let's have a look at what we can do and with the keyboard shortcuts. Clicking these is easy because they are just right there, but when you are recording something and when you are developing, you don't want to use your keyboard. Some people just like to use mouse and do stuff. The Apple has followed the same guideline they do with their other keyboard shortcut. If you know that in your navigator here you can use like command 1 2 3 4 5, so you can use control command 1 for the interaction mode, 2 for your look around mode, right? And then I'm looking around, and then if I want to pan, I can go control command 3, and that's my pan, right? And then if I have to use orbit, control command 4, and then I am orbiting. If I have to go back to the interaction mode, I'll press control command 1 and I'm in the interaction mode. Click and I can change these and then reset back. And then control command 5 we have for the dolly mode. It's a I didn't know that it's called dolly. So how did I know about all these shortcuts? So you can go to device and you have all these shortcuts listed here. And the dolly mode, so I had to look up what's dolly mode. So I look up Google, and the dolly mode, like if you are just using a camera and then you are zooming in, so that's called zoom in. But if your cameraman is actually moving with the camera like front and back, so that's called dolly mode. And I really love that Apple is using the real world, one of the other option that I want you to know is you can actually use a game controller to navigate in the simulator. So I don't have a game controller with me, but if you do have, just try and connect and see how you can use it and let me know your experience. Other than that, you can always use the simulator settings to, save your windows running when you close so that it doesn't, exit everything. So when it runs again, you have to, run everything again. Have a look at the settings, play with them. One of the things I think you might like, if you are creating like GIF images, you want to maybe change them for like smoother animation. So because there's gonna be a lot of movement when you are recording the video. So if you already don't know, if you press command option and click and you start recording, let me just pan around dolly and do stuff, right? And then when I finish, if I right click on this guy, I can actually save it as animated GIF. So that's all I wanted to talk about the Vision Pro, how you get started. Start from a window, play around with it, and then you can move ahead with the different scene options and how you wanna use reality kit and everything. The next video will talk about how you can include more reality components, and then how we can use the Reality Composer Pro in your Vision Pro. To give you a little bit of heads up, so you can see that you have a reality kit component here and you have a scene here. You can load the scene, and then there's a button here which says open in Reality Composer Pro. When you click it, I have already have that app installed. It will open up, and then you can play with this component and change around, and then if you save it, and then it will load it back to your app. So play around with it and see what you can do, and then I'll show you in more detail in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have fun.